In 1998, the Good Friday Agreement brought to an end the Troubles in Northern Ireland. But while the killings stopped, there was a rise in another form of violence known locally as paramilitary punishment attacks. These acts of violence are usually carried out on young men. It's claimed they're punishment for antisocial behaviour such as drug dealing or joyriding. And in the early days of the Stormont government, when there was a struggle to keep control of the ceasefire, there was an acceptance of this type of violence. Some people called it an imperfect peace. As time has gone on, these violent attacks have continued, and now almost 20 years after the original ceasefire, 2 men a week are still maimed or permanently disabled in these violent attacks. What's most shocking is that this form of vigilantism still goes on in the UK, and that there is very little press attention about the impact of these attacks on the men or their families. While undertaking a study of suicide in Northern Ireland, we uncovered the true reality of these awful crimes. We found that 19 men had been threatened with or subjected to a paramilitary attack in the year before their deaths. We found that some of these men sought help from their GP and from mental health professionals, but they struggled to assess them or to support them. The men were too scared to tell their families what was going on, and we know from previous research that they are reluctant to tell the police for fear of future intimidation. In some cases, the men said they would rather die than let the paramilitaries get them. They were scared, trapped, hopeless and defeated, all of which left them vulnerable to suicide. Recently, there has been increasing awareness of the impact of these events on these young men and their family. And at the end of 2018, there was a new campaign launched called Ending the Harm. They have hard-hitting advertisements on TV and across billboards in Northern Ireland. But there is still much work to be done in raising an awareness of the public of these types of events and their devastating consequences for these young men and for their families, some of whom are left behind in the wake of their suicides. It is time to accept that this type of violence has no place in a peaceful Northern Irish society.
Get more from the Open University. Check out the links on screen now.